This video is talking about how to use the color guide in Illustrator. So we've just actually used the image trace feature in Illustrator to actually make this a vector image made of lines, shapes. That's actually a requirement, the first off requirement. This is the second step where we're actually using the color guide feature and some other color features in Illustrator. So again, basically, if you don't have these toolbars shown, so if you actually don't have the toolbar shown, it's very important to make sure this go to Window, Workspace, and set to Essentials, Classic. Therefore, you see those toolbars because you have the the color guide button there. If you hover your mouse over there for a minute, you can see it's actually color guide. Okay, these are actually color guides, are based off of complementary colors that you can choose. There's preset ones. If you click on this down arrow, it's got some preset ones. You can definitely use complementary or analogous or some colors that kind of work well together. Or if you don't like those, if you don't like the high contrast, so the default ones, you can actually go and find your own. So you can find, I guess, the color library, I guess it's called color guide library. And you can find your different color guides. So maybe you can click on art history, and I want to find Impressionism. So these are actually all swatches that are based off that color guide. So now if I want to use that, I have to make this, save the color group or to the swatches panel. That's what's there. So click on that. So now you actually can click there, and I see it's added there. So what I want to do is in Canvas, this assignment here, in Canvas, this is in Tingle assignment, you actually have 20 points to add a solid colors, a linear gradient that we're going to talk about in a minute, and a radial gradient. Okay, so we're talking about those three things. So we're going to do first is you're going to make the white images, white colors, all different colors. You're going to color them like with the solid color. If I want to select more than one option, I'm going to hold the Alt key and zoom in a little bit. So maybe you want to select everything, all the white images on his fin. So click on this option here, and that tells you the boxes being selected. Now I need to click on this other part. Click on hold the Shift key down, and then click that image too. So now I have everything selected. Now I can actually make that all solid color like this. Okay. Then I hold the space bar down, and I can drag it over to a different area. Let's say I want to actually grab everything that's actually this zebra pattern, I guess. So I can click on that. Then I click on the, I'll undo that. I moved it a little bit. So I click on undo. If it moves, I guess you can undo things. Then I hold the Shift key down, and I click on all these other portions that I want to color in. Okay. Then I can actually, I have the options here to make it a solid color, which we're doing before, and now we can actually make this a gradient. So this is the linear gradient. So this is actually, if I hold the mouse there, you can see it's actually a linear gradient. Okay. And this is a radial gradient. So I'm going to show you. To make a linear gradient, you have this transition from white to black, but we can actually click on those color stops. If I want to manual selecting, I can click on this color palette here, this art easel kind of thing, or I can click on the swatches. And these are the swatches I've used before, so I can always use those. So therefore, if I want to use this light color swatch, and then I can double click on this color stop and make this one the yellow. So therefore, they have a transition there from this yellow to the light color. And I can click on this little triangle here and kind of adjust to where it's transitioning. Yeah. Those are all of them together here. But if I want to, I can manually, like individually select those. Yeah, and then that can be actually then can individually select that one. So I can individually select them. Yeah. So then I can actually go to color. That's the solid color there. If I click on the solid color, this is solid color, or this is the gradient here, and I can actually change that individually. And then maybe this one. solid color gradient. Therefore, if I wanted to make that a linear gradient, I'm going to change it to radial gradient on this one. So we're going to change this one to the radial gradient there. But let's say I actually change those things. Let's say I'm changing this one to the color swatch, so the solid color of maybe this red here. Okay. But let's say I want to go back. I've gotten all these filled in there, but I want to go back and select everything that's actually this army green color. I don't want to select anything else. I can actually use this magic wand tool, and I can select on just the army green colors, and it selects only those. I'm sorry, it selects only those solid colors right here. Now, and now I can actually use, if I want to use more specifically, I could use use selection, and then same, and I'm going to use that all the same fill color, so it selects only those green colors. Okay. Then I can actually say, like, oh, I want to make those all this color here. Okay. So we talked about the different things. We talked about changing a solid color, changing the linear gradient, and a radial gradient. So the last thing I have to do is actually make a pattern swatch. So back in Illustrator, if I want to make this pattern swatch, I have to go to my swatches library and maybe make a pattern down here and so make a nature. Okay, so we're going to have the animal skins. These are some different animal skins I can choose from: alligator or cheetah. But then also, if I want to, I can use a different pattern swatch. I can use those. Maybe make it decorative this time, and so like this decorative legacy. And I can use this other pattern there, or this one I think was arrows with color. Okay, so they're different kind of patterns there. But I gotta choose. These are all the patterns that come up. Maybe the zebra pattern. Okay, I like that one. So we went over basically how to use the color guide, right? The color guide is up here, swatches, and how to actually make a linear and radial gradient, and then also use the patterns. Okay.